Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through the card at Randwick Kensington this week. We've got plenty of value coming your way. We've got best bets in there as well. Of course, the $100 hot seat and our charity multi later in the show. And welcoming our co-host Mike Wood. Mate, we've got these standalone meetings. Well done to Hawkesbury last week. I think 10,000 there in attendance. Looked a great day. But look, in between that, we've got the Kensington meeting this week, Mike. And of course, it's off to Scone next week. A really good time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good time of year. But you looked at this card on Wednesday and you thought, what is doing benchmark races top to bottom? Pretty disappointing, but we have been sport with great group racing in the last few months. And when you look at the card and get underneath it, after you get over that first disappointment, it's actually a pretty good card. Good betting races across the card, depth in each betting race. We quite like these races on Saturday.
All right, we'll get to those a little later on. And I mentioned it, Mike, I mean, this time of year, you've got to be pretty careful as a punter, don't you? So many of these horses heading off to Scone next week, and then I guess so many of them heading to Queensland as well. It might be a chance for a bit of a, an all-in play, but you've got to be very careful with those all-in bets as well. I've had a few, but what about yourself leading into the Brisbane Carnival?
I'm always very careful, mate. I like to know the form, I like to know the factors, like you know, but maybe looking at Queensland, Youngstar, we know she's up there.
Yes.
She's in the Hollandale Stakes, and Mr. Seawolf's the top weight. That's not a very good quality group race. So Youngstar for me in the Hollandale, going on to the Doomben Cup as well. And now we know Osborne Bulls is going up there as well. I reckon he'll run down Nature Strip for sure.
Oh, that'll be a good race to watch.
It'll be a good final 100 metres.
Well, look, track conditions, Mike. Of course, we've had the sun out in Sydney this week, but just as we do this show on Thursday, a little bit of rain predicted on Friday. So how's that going to change things up?
Probably not too much. It's not the Randwick course proper, obviously. So the Kensington track's got a much better drainage system. So even though it's 2 to 8 mils, we still think a good 3 to stop 5. We think a fair bias. The last time the rail was in the true, they were still running home on the rails in the last race of the day. Maybe a tiny bit off rails, but probably pretty fair on Saturday.
OK, let's look for that. And of course, Mike, a big card, as we said. Keen to get your thoughts on all the races on the program, but we're going to have a look in depth at 5 of those. And which ones are they at Kensington?
Well, we don't have the Group 1 races to choose first and foremost, do we? So looking across at 9 race card, race 4 and 5, we like them. An 1,800 metre race with Welsh Legend coming from a group race.
Yep.
And races 7, 8 and 9 are good races as well. A couple of promising types in race 9 to finish off the day, but they're all pretty similar standard races, benchmark 78s, benchmark 88s across the board on Saturday.
OK, well, we're going to sink our teeth into the first one there, and it is race 4, Mike, and it is over the 1,800 metres. A few progressive types in this race as we have a look at the market. And Welsh Legend, that horse you mentioned, nibbled at odds in the Adrian Knox. It was Group 3, obviously back in grade here. We've got fun fact there, $6. Nobu, $6 coming off that run, rushing home last start off for 7 weeks, I think, into that last run. Of course, there's Re-Edit there, $6. Mike the Camelot filly. Sondelon, what are we going to do with this horse? We know it's going to be on pace for the Waterhouse camp, but a poor recovery there at its latest. And Eugene Pick, well, that was 4 wide in the provincial champs, wasn't it? On pace, another one of those, Mike. But Welsh Legend, like I said, had a little bit of money there last start. We'll see if the money comes again this weekend.
Yeah, let's have a look at a couple of Group 3 fourths for our replays. Have you backed these horses each way during the carnival? We apologise. We're going to show you again. Starting off with the Group 3 Adrian Knox Stakes, which is obviously a great form reference for the 3-year-old fillies. Coming to the outside, Welsh Legend, picking up pretty well. Just peaks a little bit late. But there's Oaks form all around here. And Amangiri, so unlucky last start, who came second here.
Yeah, I know. I was having a look at that replay today as well, Mike. But we're focusing on Welsh Legend here. And the form guide will suggest here pretty much loomed up, but just couldn't go on with the job this day.
Yeah, 2,000 metres, soft 7 track. Maybe just a bit of a test. She couldn't muster the last 100 metres there, but back to 1,800 metres, good track, back in grade. She'll love it on Saturday, we think. OK, look, another horse we've got to have a look at here, Mike. We're going back a few starts here. So last time Eugene's Pick, importantly, struck a good track. It's had 2 starts since over the 1,400 metres, but was out in front doing its thing this day. Yeah, this is against the older mares as well. So not against the fillies, which is the race we just saw. These are older mares here, so probably better mares as well. But the thing you got to say is she got a cheap sectional mid-race. She gave a big old kick and she ran a pretty good fourth in a much better race than what she's facing on Saturday. If she could be the one that she gets a steady tempo on Saturday, she can give a big kick again. OK, so we'll be watching for that bit of tempo related here in race 4. Now, Mike, we're going to run our own mini race here to get the day started. It is race 4. Let's have a look now at all the key factors and, of course, starting off with the form. Closely matched race, fillies and mares. Welsh Legend, though, we reckon that was the best run we just looked at. Light her up for form. OK, so there it is, Welsh Legend. As we hit the key factors, Mike, interesting time of year for progression. Yeah, Welsh Legend off a freshen up, hoping to hold her mark. Probably won't improve. Re-Edit can improve second up. Fuji Fury can definitely improve 1,300 metres to 1,800 metres second up. Third up's much better for him.
Okay, and a couple down the bottom there at a little bit of odds too, Mike, making this a race. What about the distance here, the 1,800 metres?
Yeah, lots of progressive types. Probably could have given Welsh Legend a bit of a kicker for that as well.
Yep.
2,000 back to 18, but we haven't re-ed up in distance. Nobu up in distance, they'll both love it. And Fuji Fury at stage of preparation, 1,800 metres is better for him third up.
Okay, so it's Welsh Legend and Nobu out in front here from a bit of a wall of horses, Mike. Track conditions, we're getting back to this good track, hopefully.
Yeah, well, it's Kensington as well, so not many horses have been there before. Obviously, horses need to like this tight turn along straight. It's all about a great ride as well, but Eugene's Peak's been to the track before and beaten Laburnum, which is a good form reference for her.
Okay, look, it's still these two out in front, Mike, and 1,800 metres. There's a lot of gold here for position in run.
Yeah, 1,800 metres position. I'm not going to play it too much. Maybe a bit of a kicker to those near pace, though, but not quite sure on Saturday what's going to happen.
Okay, so it's Welsh Legend just getting to the line there ahead of Nobu here, Mike. And I mean, we mentioned that's off the top. I mean, that's Group 3 form there from Welsh Legend, the Adrian Knox. Let's have a look here now with all the ratings and, of course, the odds, Mike, because that's time for a bet here in race number 4. We've got Welsh Legend on top. $5, so it is one of the favourites. Nobu's there. I'm really keen to see this horse rattle home again. But a couple on the up here, Mike. Duchess of Lennox. And, well, where's Sondel on here? It's not even figuring.
No, it only won one race this prep, and that was when there was a vicious bias in its favour. So worth going to 1,800 metres. It could dominate. That's probably what Waterhouse is thinking, but we think he might tire late unless there's an on-pace bias again. Duchess of Lennox and Fuji Fury there. Really progressive types, very interesting. But Welsh Legend is the one on top for us. She's coming from the best form reference. Yep. Group 1 Oaks form all around here. We think she'll win on Saturday. And Fuji Fury, one of the good roughies in this race on Saturday.
Okay, so Welsh Legend there in race number 4 to kick things off this weekend at the Kenzo. The next race we're going to have a look at is race number 5, and it is the Sprint. And what a market this is with so many horses resuming in the race. And there's Capperjack, well, first one resuming, beat Easy Eddie on debuts. Love the trial there. Miss X Factor, new to the Joey Pride stable, and of course only miss when 4th to win a bride, so it comes down from Queensland. There's Zonk, another one resuming after a bleed, but placed 11 from 14, solid fresh. Super X, another one resuming, very good in 2017, but only 7 starts. A big market watch there. Anna's Joy, $7, trying to step up in grade. Catesby, $9, really, really solid. And Mike, this is a race for the trial watchers, isn't it? There's plenty there to get their eyes stuck into.
Yeah, and these benchmark races, you want to see horses going up through the grades. And there's a couple we're looking at, horses that have really got big progression. They're back to 1,100 metres on Saturday. Will be so hard to beat, starting with Joe Pride's new recruit down from Queensland, Miss X Factor. This is her last start before she went for a spell. She had a couple of trials since. Look, she was up on the speed this day. A bit of pressure to her outside. She kicked through pretty well. She did get beaten to 4th, but the horses that beat her were pretty good, Stu. Winter Bride, who wins easily. She's obviously a group horse now, and she's everything who finishes alongside the one that we're looking at. Is now a benchmark 80 horse, which is a great form reference to this race on Saturday.
Yeah, and of course, said it before, Mike, but going to Joey Pride as well can really turn a good sprinting horse around.
Yeah, and she gets a claim for Robbie Dolan, so she's basically off a benchmark 74 mark on Saturday, so very well placed.
Okay, well, let's have a look at Capperjack, and look, we're going to go back to his first start because this was the really impressive one. This was the win for the Lonhro Gelding and making its run pretty wide and, well, chased really, really strongly here for the win, Mike.
I know Easy Eddie was 3 wide, no cover, but on debut, 1,100 metres, coming to the outside and running down Easy Eddie. This is an amazing first up run. Look, the second up run was only okay, but had excuses. The third up run was a bit flat, so they put him away. If he repeats that third up run, he won't win. But if he repeats this first up one, he can definitely win on Saturday. The form references from that race are very, very strong.
Yeah, that's the one we had to have a look at, the first up win. Okay, Mike, form and key factors time for race 5 at the Kenzo. Let's get stuck into it. We're looking for these gold bars.
Good little race. Capperjack, we're basing his form rating on his most recent run, so he doesn't get the gold bar. Miss X Factor does.
Does, and way out in front to get the race started here, Mike. What about progression? Who can catch up here?
Big upside for Hawks. Capperjack can definitely improve now that he's been freshened up. Miss X Factor, going to probably the best sprinting stable in the land, Joey Pride. She gets a gold bar as well.
Yeah, you sure can do it. What about the distance?
Oriental Runner, I think, ran today, so we'll ignore that.
Okay, so it's still Miss X Factor out in front here from Capperjack. Track conditions, all important.
He's a funny little bloke, Invincible Quest, short, squat, quite chunky looking.
Oh, wow,
he loves a good track, so he'll improve, I think, on Saturday.
Okay, there's some light him up down the bottom, and of course, position in run over the 1,100.
Yeah, the little chunky type will love a small field as well, running on from the back. And Anna's Joy drawn to get the box seat again. She won last start from the same spot.
Well, look, it might have been a bit of gold there, but they didn't catch Miss X Factor. Clearly on top there. Well, not clearly, just a length there from Capperjack. They look to be the class heading into race 5. Let's have a look now. It's time for a bet here, Mike. And I mean, look, these two favourites, they've been there from the start throughout those key factors. And I mean, look, we've got good horses here. Miss X Factor is going to be on pace. They've both come off a really strong trial. But you're saying Capperjack just needs to recapture that first run.
He definitely does, and I'm absolutely terrified of him, but he's just a little bit shorter. I think the bright orange colours and the popular Hawk stable obviously makes those odds tighten in a bit. Miss X Factor, look, she's got great, almost listed level form from Queensland. It's going to be such a close race, but she'll be near the pace. She's the one for us, but terrified of the Hawks horse running on late.
Okay, so it's Miss X Factor there in race 5 for Joey Pride. Stick around after the break. We've got plenty more races coming your way after that. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. The third race we're going to have a look at Kensington this weekend is race number 7. And of course, it's the Sprint, Mike, 1,250 metres. And so many of these horses with hard luck stories in behind Top Striker last start. Let's go through the market. Passage of Time, well, it was one of those in that race. Heading the market here, $4.40. Charge, really interesting horse here from mine. It's going to charge from 13 with Glyn Schofield on track. Nice trial win there. Problem Solver was another one that's had a little bit of trouble last start. There's Top Striker. He didn't get any trouble. He won the race, $7.50. Piracy there with some Americana Magic form. Noble Joey, I think, ran today, so it's probably going to be out. Star of Monsoon and Americana Magic, 2 emergencies here, Mike. But wow, this race, last start, we just have to have a look at it because there's plenty to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about. We looked through the form, obviously, in detail for the race guide. There are 7 unlucky horses in this race. So if you back Top Striker, buy a lotto ticket, I reckon, because you were very lucky this day. He's good on pace. Problem Solver, 4 wide, no cover, though. Fighting on really well. And Stu just talked about it. Passage of Time in the box seat in the red. I think he's held up to about the 50-metre mark, and obviously he should have won. Some unlucky horses in behind as well, Stu, including Murillo, on debut in Australia. Never got out back in the green there.
Well, it's one for the punters, isn't it? You've really just got to have a look and dissect. You know, if you were on one of them, do you back up or do you just say, nah, wasn't my day and we're going to go again?
Be so surprised if Top Striker won again. No Problem Solver, 4 wide, no cover. Maybe the best run in the race. And Murillo, what's funny about this horse is $5 on debut in Australia there, and now he's $11 in this race on Saturday. He did nothing wrong at all.
Okay, right, we'll have to look for that. Let's have a look at a horse that's outside of that form, and we're going to Fragonard here because we know this horse has a really good fresh record, so we're taking you back right back to September last year, and look, didn't win this race, Mike, but loved the solid chase, and it was 3 wide this day.
There's a couple of decent mares in this race. Problem Solver we just looked at, and Fragonard's got similar form to Problem Solver at her best. This is a benchmark 90, some good depth, some black type form in this race as well. Miss Leonardis won a listed race, that came 3rd in that race. And obviously Cool Passion came 4th in that race. She's now a group mare. So some depth behind Fragonard's fresh form. Her recent form not quite as good.
Okay, well, what about all this form, Mike? This Top Striker race, who is going to get the gold out of that race? Is that a race that you're saying the form is going to stack up from?
Who actually won the race? It wasn't Top Striker. It was Problem Solver for us from Passage of Time. That's based on some judgment from us, of course.
All right, so they've got to catch Problem Solver here, Mike, as we get to the key factors, progression.
Charge, we were talking about it before the show. What is he going to do on Saturday? He could come first, he could come last, he can improve, but can he improve enough? Problem Solver, a big, strong, muscular mare. She can improve for sure. And Fragonard, back to fresh. Good for her.
Well, some gold from Charge, but he's going to have to charge to beat Problem Solver. Way out in front here, Mike, to distance.
All sprinters, all good. We can move on.
Okay, we can move on. So we're still Problem Solver there from Fragonard, the track conditions.
I think Waller had him entered in the Gold Coast as well, but I think they like the Kenzo track for Charge. He's run a good second there before, and he'll be scooting along in the lead.
Okay, so another bit of gold there for Charge as we hit the line, Mike, with position in run.
Yeah, I think they like the wide barrier for him as well because they know they'll get to the lead, which is so important for him. And Star of Monsoon can trail up behind if he gets the run from the inside.
All right, so look, Problem Solver was right out in front here to start with, Mike. A few of them have made a little charge there, including Charge. Now, look, but it is time for a bet here. Punters need to figure out this race because so much of that form coming from the Top Striker race. Let's have a look now because, I'm pretty keen for a bet. Let's have a look now, Mike, because Problem Solver's on top, $6.50. We know that. Now, one horse you haven't mentioned here, it's not even featuring, tougher than the rest. That horse flew home, but did it have its flashing light on that day?
Oh, I had every possible chance, clear running, strong tempo. So putting a line through him, I don't think he'll win on Saturday. This is a really hard race to line up, but we're going with the unlucky horses and we're going with the fresh horses. Murillo, we're going to have a covering bet on him as well, $11, because it's so hard to rate. Didn't know what he did first up because he was so unlucky.
Yeah.
But Problem Solver and Fragonard are the mares for us. Edge of Black type form, they'll be so hard to beat against the boys.
Okay, so sticking with a little bit of that top striker form race.
I think it's 4 wide, no cover. She should have won, I reckon.
All right, there we go. So there's a look at that race. The next one we're going to have a look at is the 1400 metre race, and it is race number 8. And we've got some provincial championships form coming out of that race, Mike, including Spring Charlie there, who was obviously second in the provincial champs. Star of the Seas. How would you just love to own this horse? I mean, it has not missed a place. Right there at $4. Renewal, interesting runner here, has a habit of missing the start, but does come up from Melbourne, $6.50. Man from Uncle, not beaten very far fresh, and a few excuses from mine. There's Turnberry. We know this horse is pretty rock solid. Another one coming from the provincial championships. And we'll ride out to Albumen, Mike. $13. Looked a little bit lost there in Melbourne to mine. And 1,400 metres the query here. But look, Spring Charlie, provincial championships form. That's looking pretty good into this.
Pretty tight though, isn't it? Let's have a look at the run and see what we think of this run. $3.50 coming through the provincial champs. Like we just said, you've got to have a look at it. Turnberry is absolutely flying. 2 starts ago, 3 wide, no cover. Beat Bobbing. This start, 3 wide, no cover, and a strong tempo to deal with. Bobbing just gets him. He fights on really well, so Turnberry's flying. Spring Charlie, look, held up slightly. We called it in the race guide. Threads up the inside, runs on really well, but probably off a strong tempo, was in the right position, I think, on Saturday. Okay,
so it might have had a few favours there, mate. Now, Turnberry, this horse just seems to try every start, doesn't it?
I mean, I wish I was 1,500 metres or 1,600 metres on Saturday, because that's what he needs now, but he's so tough. He gets on pace, and Mercurial Lad raced today in Canberra, so he can lead in this race on Saturday.
Okay, plenty, very close there across the line. Now let's have a look at Star of the Seas. As I said, this horse is so consistent. Running wide this day, albeit with cover. But Mike, this horse, you just can't deny it, can you? It just keeps putting in and keeps turning up, running a drum.
Yeah, 2 massive positives, 1 slight negative for him. 4 wide, no cover, almost wins. So he's flying. Barrier 1, is he going to get buried back on the inside? No, he can lead. So that's a big tick for him as well. He can actually go box seat or lead this horse because he jumps okay. The big question maybe is 1,400 metres Kenzo on a dry track. Does he want 1,600 metres now?
Right.
So he wants to get rolling on pace like Turnberry. Both of them probably want further in distance now, deep in their preparations.
Okay, so still a few questions there on one of the favourites. Let's see if the form and the key factors can help us with a decision here, Mike, as we light them up for the May handicap.
Yeah, looking at form, Star of the Seas flying, Turnberry flying, both wide, no cover last start.
Okay, so it's Star of the Season, Turnberry to get this race started, Mike. Who has got the progression here over the 1,400?
Something Fast is only lightly raced, can improve, but needs to improve. Echo Effect can definitely improve second up.
Okay, they're all still chasing these two, Mike. Spring Charlie needs to catch up. The favourite, is it going to do that?
Oh, maybe not quite yet. Man from Uncle and Echo Effect Quinella to Group 2 when they were 3-year-olds. Do you remember that? The Hobart, I think it was. They can definitely run well over 1,400 metres on Saturday.
Yeah, interesting to see if he can live up to that, Mike. What about these track conditions?
Nothing doing. Yeah, that needs a good ride from these horses. Renewal doesn't want to get too far back in the Kenzo.
Well, a good ride could win it. Star of the Seas, Man from Uncle and Turnberry there is a position in run. A good ride might just do this.
On pace. I think the professional punters will go for the on pace in this race. Star of the Seas, Something Fast and Mercurial Lad, who raced today. They're the ones on pace. Turnberry can probably get a tick for positioning run as well, actually. All
right, so Star of the Seas. Okay, so it's gone out in front. Spring Charlie, I'm pretty surprised here, Mike, has not made up the ground at all. So pretty much looks like we're going to pot a favourite there. Let's have a look now at all the ratings and the odds, because it is time for a bet in race number 8. And we'll start the Seas on top, Mike. No surprises there. The surprise is the favourite, as we said. But look, Turnberry really honest. Man from Uncle, you just said it. Hobartville form. Imagine if it can recapture that.
Yeah, going well for Claire Cunningham, so we're not going to leave him out. Definitely Articus can do something first up at 41 bucks. We almost backed him as well, but maybe not quite. Look, these two horses that we like are super tough. They can get on pace, but they probably want further. So we want aggressive rides from these two horses on Saturday. Star from the Seas kicking up on the inside. Turnberry rolling from barrier 8. If they're on pace and they roll along, they'll be so hard to run down. All
right, we're looking forward to that. Star of the Seas there for us in race number 8. That leaves us with race number 9, Mike. It is over the 1,550 metres. And, well, how good's this? 4 last start winners coming into this race, including Agassi. That was a really good win last start. Now up against the older horses. There's Bobbing, the provincial country champs that was winner that was saved for that one run. Mushareb, really interesting horse here. Had its one run in Sydney, got the win, the UK import. I was impressed there. Live and Free, obviously improved second up, Mike. And Fuchu was only 1 length off them in the provincial championships right there as well. And look, Prometheus, Quadriga, Calculated, they're all just outside the market here. But Agassi, good win last start.
Big money for Agassi, and it was a big win in much lower grade. Those 3-year-old benchmark 64 grade. But the thing is, he did this day, he's absolutely broke the clock. He was on pace with Blake Shin. He ran 11.71, 11.62, 11.38, 11.34, and tied a bit for 12 seconds at the end. Absolutely broke their hearts. A really strong horse who's much better now that he's gelded this preparation.
Yeah, really good to reel off those sectionals and just puts his head down here and love the way it attacked the line. And how good's the call? Game, set, match, top seed today for Agassi.
And you're a tennis fan, and you're an Agassi fan, I remember from the days as well, mate. Look, he's a genuine horse who's an on-pace horse, so he's very likeable in this race on Saturday for sure.
Okay, Mike, well, look, there's a look at Agassi. Let's have another look now at a horse called Fuchu. We know this horse has had a few runs since then. Was it the grand final or not? We'll go back a few runs here, Mike, because this was the last time at the Kenzo for Fuchu.
Yeah, first couple of preps, just so-so for this horse. 2 preps ago, really came alive. This is the end of this preparation, Kensington track. Yep. The format of this race is only okay, but back on the inside, sprinting through, got the win.
Got the luck.
You think off a 1,400 metre win like this, she's ready for 1,550 metres, 1,600 metres, but the provincial championships was too much money to avoid. They went that way. He gets to the mile finally on Saturday.
Yeah, great initiative, the provincial championships there, Mike. Well, it is race 9, so we want these punters to come away a winner after their day at the track at the Kenzo. So let's get them home, steer them home with the gold here in the last.
Agassi definitely gets the gold bar, 131 he ran last up, but Prometheus from Melbourne's got good form, and Fuchu gets a big weight turnaround on bobbing. We think he'll beat him on Saturday.
Okay, so they've all got to catch Agassi here, Mike, as the key factors are going to show us this winner.
So many improving. Agassi can improve, a young 3-year-old. Bobbing can improve, only 10 starts. Mushareb, really good first up in this preparation. Live and Free can improve second up. So many improvers, including Calculated, who's ready to do something now for Waller.
We're saying there's plenty of improvement in this race.
A lot.
What about the distance and stage of prep?
Mushareb, so strong through the line. We should have watched that replay, really. It was so strong. It was dominant.
Good.
Fuchu up to the mile finally.
We can't watch them all. We only get 2. What about the track conditions?
Kensington, we just looked at the replay. Light up Fuchu.
Okay, so Fuchu here, levelling up at a bit of odds with Agassi, Mike. And, well, who gets a position in run here? We've got Value coming in.
We said Calculated every start this prep got a couple of lengths better. He's ready to do something on Saturday from the inside draw.
All right, Calculated even put his head in the mix here, Mike. Mushareb right there, but it's Agassi and Fuchu who hit the line together. Don't know if there's enough there for a bet, Mike. There's only a length. It's pretty stacked here in the last, so let's have a look because, well, let's face it, we do need a bet. And Agassi, $2.80, but hang on, you got Fuchu here, $12. You've made some pretty good cases here, and it's levelling up right on top.
Yeah, 4 good betting chances, we think, and Agassi is one of those winning chances, but maybe not a betting chance.
Yep.
Fuchu, Mushareb, Calculated, they're the ones we'll be backing on Saturday. Bobbing can win, but too short for us. Fuchu, back to the Kensington track, 1,550 metres. He's so well placed in this race on Saturday. And Mushareb, the Richard Freedman stable, is flying.
Absolutely, definitely over the odds there, Mushareb. Well, let's look at 5 races from the Kenzo this week, but after the break, we'll have all our exotics, including the $100 hot seat. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We've had a good look at 5 races from Kensington for all the racing this weekend, but of course the action doesn't stop there, Mike. 4 other races to get our teeth stuck into. And well, where are we going to play? You seem pretty excited about this meeting.
Across the 9 race card, let's go for some speedsters. Early in the day on the dry track, Space Boy at $3, Golden Tycoon 850W, so hard to beat. We Concur from the Matty Dunn stable. It's the favourite, hard to beat at $3.20.
Yep.
We talked about a few of those. Rockabye Baby first up. Just the last 100 metres in the trials. Sucked us in there. Can definitely do something fresh. Problem Solver $6.50. Star of the Seas $4. And Fuchu, big value in race 9 to finish the day.
Okay, so a couple of those at double figure odds. We'll be hoping one of those does get home, Mike. And of course, the $100 hot seat for those heading out there with their $100 cash. Nearly got there last week, back to even, but we're still in good profit here, Mike. But $100 this weekend, and I'm looking at that. You're playing a lot of the field here.
We lost $1 last week, which is a funny feeling, wasn't it? At least we didn't lose too much, but it was a hard Hawkesbury day for us. Race 1, $10 on Welsh Legends, so hard to beat. Yep. If Kathy O'Hara goes that way. Miss X Factor on pace, she's the one that we like. A bundle bet again.
We love them.
Problem Solver, Fragonard Fresh, and Murillo. Who knows what he's going to do second up? He was so unlucky. And into race 8, $45 on a race that we like with a bit of a mess of bets there. $20 on Star of the Seas. Turnberry plays because he's so reliable.
Yep.
And Man from Uncle we threw in 5 minutes ago. Fuchu $12, Mushareb $10. They're the value in race 9 to end the day. Let's keep the profits going, Stu.
Look, if you feel it, you just got to throw it in there, Mike. Loving the value there in race number 9. And of course, time for the charity multi, Mike. We really want to smash it past the $1,000 mark here. I like all those tips there, but let's get our teeth into this one. And we're going to go race 5, Miss X Factor. You've explained this. Joey Pride, the sprinter, $3.90. Looks good. Problem solver. One of these horses that's just hoping for a bit more luck. We're going to go the place there at the $2.30. Turnberry. We love a tough horse here on Key Factors. This horse is $2.90. It's running a place, and we can multi all these up, Mike. 10 for the $35. So that'll get us very close to that $1,000 mark.
Good punting, Stu. Good amount as well. $35. We're desperate to get to the grand because we're going to announce the first charity on the show next week and give that money away a couple of weeks from now.
Excellent. Looking forward to that. Of course, we need to win that money, Mike. Look, good luck to everyone heading out there to the Kenzo this weekend. But before you do, head to theраceguide.com.au for all your horse profiling this weekend. And, of course, good luck on the punt.
Enjoy Saturday.